Gina Miller joins us. She's from SCM, the founding partner of SCM, and she's also now with Best for Britain. She has had a very important role to play in the Brexit story here in the UK, taking the UK government to court. Let's bring Gina into the conversation. That was the old story, I guess, yes. Taking the UK government to the Supreme Court and winning that battle. We find ourselves in different territory now in the UK election, and you've got a role in this. But first, your thoughts on the latest polling, these very tight polls, Gina. What does that mean to you?
The polls are so different. What I can say is I think the trend is right. Because of the new campaign, Best for Britain, I'm out on the doorstep. And people are very concerned about the lack of detail as we go towards Brexit. Also, the U-turns that the government have made, that they are now thinking, do we really want this Conservative government? So I think the trend is right. I think we'll have to wait to see. It will still be a Conservative government on the 9th of June.
That's your expectation. You are very close to this process, as you say. You've been out campaigning on the doorsteps. Your focus at Best for Britain, then, is getting those politicians that you think will have give us the softest Brexit into power. Is that the gist of it?
Two things. We're saying that vote for individual local MPs. So forget the central tribalism for the moment. People who think have principles and will vote with their conscience and put the country before their political party loyalties. And secondly, that will vote against this extreme Brexit for a full and free vote at the end of the negotiated period. So that's all options on the table, including remaining, if that's what's best for Britain.
If you look at the polling for the Liberal Democrats, and it's not been stellar, has it? They don't have that many. They haven't had many seats before this election, and the polls suggest they are doing less than 10% at the moment, and some just 6-7% recently. Does that suggest that perhaps people don't care as much about the Brexit vote as maybe people you've been circling with, mixing with, think they do?
Absolutely not. Actually, the two things I'm finding on the doorstep is there is an exhaustion around election, referenda, voting again. And I'm picking up, I think one of the reasons why the Lib Dems are not doing as well as they should be is that they're pushing this second referendum, which I have to say personally I don't agree with. But I think it's this people's idea of not another vote in 2 years' time. And I think it's just they're hitting that exhaustion wall, and that's why they're not cutting through.
You're clearly quite close to the politics at the moment, as you say, on the doorsteps. Do you have a taste for politics? Where does this take you in the future?
Not at this moment in time, because I think you've got to give 100% of your time. As you said in the introduction, I have a business, I have other campaigns against the corruptions in the city. I need to finish those first. So not never, but definitely not now.
So not deciding now whether you will or will not have a feature in politics. But you can't step away entirely, can you?
I can't, because I think when you see things going wrong, you have a choice. You either do something or you do nothing. And I've always been the sort of person who does something. So I still carry on keeping an eye on the government. Whichever government comes into power, are they going to overstep the line when it comes to their legal requirements and legislation? But I will also be thinking in the future, well, what is best for our country? Where do we go?
If we see the Labour Party doing better than had been thought at the beginning of this campaign, and that's certainly what the polls are suggesting, certainly. How would you respond to that as somebody who was quite in favour of Remain to start out? How do you rate them on their Remain commentary, or rather their softer Brexit commentary, their softer Brexit stance at the moment?
Look, I believe that Brexit is so important. It should actually be all party. Our negotiation team should be drawn from the best experienced people from all parties as we go forward. But also, this has got to be a realistic Brexit more than anything. Rather than soft and hard or clean or whatever terms, we've got to be realistic about what we can achieve.